Hi guys, it's April 14th, Tuesday, General Art. Um, Welcome. Okay, so as you've noticed that maybe if you haven't seen my other video, uh, your grades have turned into check marks instead of actual scores. Watch my other video about fourth quarter grades to find out why, okay? Um, but here's my extra reiteration about this is that everything we're doing in class now online is to enrich your experiences for next year. You're all in general art right now. If you're going to photo one, drawing and painting, all the assignments we're doing now online are to help you in those classes, to prep you mentally for those type of classes. All right. You might not see the connections now, but you will next year, or you will soon actually. Um, but I'd like to reiterate that the extras that I post online, especially on Classroom, it's called extras. It has like uh, today's date, whatever happened today in history. That is all for your funsies, as I wrote in there. It's for your break, right? When you need to not do my assignments. So it keeps that in mind. Do not confuse it for the actual assignments in class. Uh, if you don't know where those assignments are still, it's actually in, you know, the classwork section of Google Classroom. So double check in there if you are not sure if we did everything yet. Speaking of not doing everything yet, turn-in rate lately has not been very good. Hopefully you guys get on it, okay? But here we go. We're moving on, and this is how it works. If you did your family tree, your mo'olelo, the next section is for you to mind map and create visual associations with your life story. Uh, as always, I don't do anything without doing it myself. I don't have you do anything without doing it myself, so I am my own version of it I've done. And I also am going to go over the instructions real quick. The instructions will be also posted into Google Classroom, so don't worry if I scroll by too fast. You can go back and read it yourself. So here we go. We're creating a mind map. The mind map is for you to make visual associations that define yourself as an individual. This is so that you can gather your ideas, gather your thoughts, think what images associate with you. So when we have to create our art piece for this year, end of the year, you're not struggling with, well, I don't know what represents me. Well, this is why we're doing this, okay? Um, the mind map we're looking at uses the family tree you made and the mo'olelo you kind of pull from, because those are your research points. And now you're kind of putting it together. Using those ideas that you got from those last two assignments, you're going to create a mind map. This is what a mind map should have. It doesn't have to be exactly as I made it, because you are a different person, okay? But, and also, it doesn't have to be digital. I do digital because I think it's easier. If it's not easier for you, do it on pencil paper. Whatever works. But as always, if you do pencil paper, take pictures, submit them online. We have files of photos, okay? So these are the numbered parts are the parts I really hope you hit upon. One, your center bubble. Identifier of who you are, what you are. Okay, be creative. I honestly do a lot of times identify myself as a Chinese comic book artist in Hawaii because that's exactly what I am. You'd think, oh, isn't he the photo teacher or the art teacher? He is. I am. But I do look at myself as a comic book artist and I am Chinese 100% all the way through. Okay? Um, do you have to use your cultural identity? No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be like, as I state here, your cultural identity does not need to include your ethnicity. Okay? I identify myself with my Chinese heritage more. That's what I used. All right? Um, Your personal interests can help you inform your cultural identity, okay? Okay, so that's number one. Number two, branch out at least once in a strand with your cultural practices, family ties, things you remember as you're growing up. Include words, describe foods, smells, words in other languages, colors, patterns, however you perceive things as a child. Okay, there are things that it's still in your brain, it's still there, you still think about it. The words are meant to create a visual association. So things that when you go, oh, when I was growing up, I remember the Manapua man, right? That's maybe something you remember, and he brought Manapua. So, you remember going to the little cart down the street and buying that. Maybe that's your experience, and maybe that's something you jot down. Okay? And so maybe your visual association is the Manapua truck or even just the Manapua. If you have no idea what that is, you're gonna have to look it up. If you still don't know what it is, you can find online. You can look up Libby's. Okay, uh, Manapua is a local Chinese version of a bun with pork. Okay, do some research. But yeah, so at least once in a strand. So branch out once. So, and then another branch, I want you to put places you lived, including Hawaii. A lot of you guys move around a lot. So put that down. Street names, cities, places you always went to. Again, same thing. Notice this instructions I put up has the word visual associations highlighted. You can see where I'm trying to get at, guys. And lastly, the fourth thing I want you guys to do, explode, like go nuts on one of them. Go far, go wide. If it's a personal interest one you do, go for it. Okay, so like, if you have pets, put your pets there. I've concluded like I collect comic books, toys. Who are my favorite heroes? Some of my favorite toys. That's me. That's my personal interests. Um, you know, things that identify you. Okay, and your personal interests sometimes breaks away from your cultural and slash childhood upbringing. Okay, it makes you a different person, uh, and that's what makes it who you are. Okay, so again, visual associations. You know what the lesson is. Okay, but as always, I don't do anything without giving you a sample. This is my sample. It's crazy looking. The big green section is my personal interests, and it ranges. All right, my personal interests. There's drawing, video games, martial arts, comic books, languages, manga, toys, the travel, um, animation, music, TV shows. The list goes on and on, guys. So that's me on my things that make me my personal interests, that make me who I am. Things that make me me. And then there's my cultural connections that make me my upbringing, right? The things that relate to me. My cultural background is the family tree part, right? And then last but not least, where I lived. I lived in England. I lived in Hong Kong. I've lived in Hawaii. Different places in Hawaii. Um, Even in Hawaii, I have like Manoa. UH Manoa is like where I went to school for college. England, So one of the things I put down is fish and chips. Tower Bridge, Tonbridge, where I grew up in England. Kent, rainbow trout, something my mom used to buy all the time when we were in England. Where I went to school here, King Intermediate. Kalihi, I associate when I was a kid. We lived in Kalihi, and the McDonald's is one of the favorite places I went to. Yeah. Hong Kong, like newspaper stand my family has. Where is it located? It's in Tuen Mun. Okay. So it is an explosion of crazy things, like cultural connections. I have like cultural practices. I have kung fu, the three styles I know, the different festivals and different celebrations we do, the types of food, dim sum, xiaolong bao. For New Year's, we eat chai, we eat gao. Okay. Yes, if you guys are quick-eyed, you'd notice I put down video games like Animal Crossing, Monster Hunter, um, and drawing. It's only a small part of my life. Is sequential art, manga, portraits. I like pencil and paper. Okay, and this is just a version of a mind map. When I look at this, I kind of laugh and go, I see where a lot of my pop culture favorite things are what drives me. My personal culture stuff, who I am, that's only a small section of who I am. The culture stuff is what builds me. All right. So this week, you need to make a mind map. You need to make sections. And that's it. Friday by 3 p.m. Okay. I'll see you guys later.